Magical. Okay. Can you just stay on the line? Let me introduce you. Okay, so welcome everybody. This is breaking news. By this time we don't come on. Like I said, anytime it's breaking, we'll bring you up to speed with what's going on. So Atiku has just resigned his membership of the People's Democratic Party, and it's not far-fetched from the reasons. He says that the party has basically lost its way. In other platforms are reporting that the party has derailed. Some others are reporting that the party has practically gone comatose. Some say it's irreconcilable differences. I mean, I wonder, when you hear irreconcilable differences, you hear it mostly with husbands and wives, girlfriends and boyfriends, but these days it's applied almost everywhere. We have Tony Wachiko live with us on the phone this afternoon. Tony, thank you for joining us. It is unprecedented. It's not far from the truth. ADC is gaining ground, and this is one of the reasons why we thought that in no time, most people who are in the PDP will be emptied into ADC. What's your first reaction?
Well, thank you, Charles. You just forget the truth. Yours. We people in PDP that joining the ADC, to leave the party PDP for those who have sympathy for all progressive Congress party that Nigerians have been feeling terrible pain, going through terrible agony due to maladministration of the country. That's the truth. People are living PDP. Those who are living PDP joining ADC are non-supporters of APC PDP. They have APC PDP. That one is led by Nelson.
Okay, so but with this,
I don't know whether I've given you an answer.
Yes, you have, but this particular latest development would put pressure on those who say they are in two different parties. We've heard that Peter Obi say things like, hey, "I'm still in Labour Party. Coalition is for 2027," and we've also heard other people say that kind of thing. But do you think that this movement by Atiku would also spur many persons who have divided mindset to move from the PDP to the ADC permanently?
The important thing is that Turaki has left, in my capacity as national coordinator of the Atiku Consensus Movement. The important thing is that Turaki has left PDP for now. When he joins another party, we will see the party has joined, but for now, he has resigned his membership of the People's Democratic Party. Don't forget that Turaki led the PDM, People's Democratic Movement, that is senior partner in the formation of PDP. That was 1998-99. He led them in the absence of Yar'Adua Musa. Yar'Adua Musa was in charge of the People's Front, and then when he was no more, Turaki championed the People's Front and PFN to PDM, like People's Democratic Movement. And today, inshallah, it's obvious the reality that he has joined, he has left the PDP. He has not joined any particular party at the moment, but he has left.
Are you saying clearly that he hasn't really joined any party? I mean, he was at the coalition, and the coalition looked like it was successful. Are you saying that up until this moment, he hasn't really made official?
Coalition you are talking about is coalition of individuals. This coalition is not a coalition. It does not associate itself with what do you call it, association, is a coalition of individuals. He has a right to withdraw from active politics. He has a right to receive himself from environmental politics. So whatever he has done, the critical thing is that, like, I'm the national coordinator of the consensus movement.
Yes.
And it is personal because the movement I champion also is people consensus movement. We have not asked or requested anything from any Nigerian. It's a self thing, and then we keep moving into the other direction. If he is joining a new party, we will know the party he is joining. If he is not, then we'll continue. If he is in politics, you will see eruptions. Because for the truth is that for today, Turkey is the man to beat Nigeria.
He is the man to beat. That means he is going to contest the 2027 elections?
Well, he has not shown anybody that is going to contest any election. Like our body is Atiku consensus movement. This is a consensus movement. We have not said he's running for president. We have not said he's running for governor. Those are positions he contested for governor quite right. He won. He resigned for Tony Haruna to move on while he had ventured to be a vice president. That's cool. But for now, he has not told anybody that he's contesting president. I don't want to say that he is. What is being built is coalition of like minds that will restore power from the All Progressive Congress. All Progressive Congress. That is the coalition that is being built. The coalition that will address the issues of subsidy, the coalition that will address the issues of impact of subsidy on Nigerians. Because it's obvious. The welfare of a country is about your GDP. The care the Constitution provided that government is a welfare. It's about the people's GDP. And then you can see the way Nigerians are into giving the subsidy that has been withdrawn by the All Progressive Congress. And you can see where Nigeria is in that. Productivity has slacked, businesses are shutting down, and SMEs are finding it intensively very difficult to exist. So these things are the issues that is there. Education is next to zero. For now, what we have was the bursary. State governments, local governments, and federal governments, we are giving grants to students. Today is a loan by federal government. And you have to pay this loan immediately after your youth service. At graduation, you start, then the next day you have to pay. So these things are challenges Nigerians are undergoing. Payment for energy, payment for so many other things. We can talk about transportation. The rail line in Nigeria is not working. So that also contributed to food inflation. So we don't want to talk now because there's no election that is close by, that is national. What is happening is that leaders with the feeling of the people, leaders that feel for the people, have no choice pretending to be doing politics when politics is very soft, and so on. And the APC is more interested in grabbing power. The question is power for who? And it is dangerous to rule people with hunger. It is very, very dangerous. People can't afford anything. They can't afford health care. They can't afford nothing. They can't afford education. They can't afford. Imagine you are in Nigeria city. Imagine children that walk the streets to go to school. What do you want them to learn? So these things are the issues. Imagine children that doesn't eat in the morning to go to school. How will they learn? Imagine farmers people that manage children farmers in the rural community that manage to produce a few crop items, and then they can move it to market where they do. So these things are the issues. So we have a lot of issues in the country, and that's the coalition people are talking about. Nigerians are not just angry. Nigerians are depressed. And then, I don't know, but that's the situation.
Okay, so
Our leaders, remember that Turaki is our own leader.
yeah.
Yes.
So, but we also
Let me give you the history. Let me give you the history of Atiku Constitution Movement. It used to be Obasanjo Atiku Constitution Movement. 8 days after President Obasanjo governed and left, so we transmitted into Atiku Constitution Movement. So it's a movement. Just like you have the obedience, it's a movement. Thank you.
all right. On a final note, earlier we were saying something about Peter Obi not attending the burial of the president, former president Muhammadu Buhari. Just today, we saw a video of him granting an interview in Daura, stating the reason why he didn't come yesterday was because of flight cancellation. The airport was actually closed. Most people who went there, flew private jet. But I mean, he was able to go for the morning today in Dara in Katsina State. So because some persons were writing that he will not get the northern votes in 2027, but I'm just trying to give you bring you up to speed with that particular development.
Well, people have not told anybody that he's going an election in 2027, and 2027 is just around the corner. Human should stop bearing nature. People should stop bearing nature. But on the issue of the interface, yes, the former president has existed, and people will continue to visit the home. The federal government has performed the necessary ritual, which is taking care of his burial. That doesn't mean that people will not or no longer go to his family to say, please, may the Lord grant you the fortitude to bear this. That's what the going on. He's not the only one that is going after the other men who did that. And I have maintained the position that if officially the government are taking over a program and they did not invite you to that program, you have no business going to that place. That is the issue. So Atiku was there, and I remember that Atiku was a former vice president.
Yeah.
So in protocol, there is no way he will not invite you. Remember that Erufai was there, and Erufai is a very inner holder or inner person in the family of Buhari. It's not just that he was a governor and all that. So the family is entitled to invite or give names that or persons they want to be invited. Every name could be there, similar other names could be there, and Peter this name could not be there. So if he's not there, what is he going there for? So the primary function has been performed, and it is time for those who are touched to go to the family and say, please enjoy. They will not grant you the fortitude. I think that is the reason why people did it also. Not only him, some other Nigerians are going to what I call the Buhari Mecca. I call it the Buhari Mecca. People are still going to the residence and they are moving. And then their team is also moving. But Nigerians also are disappointed. I mean, the middle class and the very low because the federal government should have allowed Nigerians the opportunity, or should have availed them with the opportunity of seeing their late president. Just not rapping, nobody knows what was rapped. So that the information is that the president was there, the vice was there, that it is Buhari. But they should have allowed Nigeria, because it was accorded a national honor. Okay? It should have opened it. There was a casket for which we would have been open. Even the Pope, the late Pope, was during the burial, or before the burial, people went around there. They saw that the Pope was no more. So I don't want to argue that was necessary going to be. Because I couldn't imagine watching a bereaved woman going to the airport to receive wife of the president. I don't understand what is going on. I know Islam properly, I read Quran properly, and I understand it, and I don't think it's in line with that. But nevertheless, it has been performed. And then I think that when the president was coming, his wife should have, the same equipment with him, so both of them were right. The wife of the president. When the one was in power, the one right anywhere, but he's always together with Victoria, the wife. So I don't know what the exceptions look now or what the rules or protocols looks like now. So P2B have not committed anything. Until that time comes, if he says it's running, we pay out so many years, nobody is talking. What is happening is that groups are organizing, groups are strategizing, groups also are just getting set that if the Lord permits, if God permits. For me, any person that told me that President Buhari will not be around by today, I won't believe it. Because, he didn't pay, he didn't look unhealthy. But here we are. So we're on a journey. We're on a journey of life. And there's so many other things. I don't know how, but I know that nature has a way. God has a way
Right.
of doing things. So it will be, should not be blamed by any person.
All right.
And then he doesn't owe much explanation on why he didn't go there. What Iran was the provincial candidate on Labour Party and the former governor. And then I don't know whether he was he falls into the rank and file. Otherwise, the protocol should have afforded to invite him to that venue. And if you invite him, you will go there.
All right.
I am not his spokesperson. I am not his spokesperson.
Okay.
I am the national coordinator of Atiku Consensus Movement.
We will continue this conversation tomorrow. I would expand the conversation to include what it will be like if they both go for the presidential ticket of the ADC, and then one of them decides to lose, because I mean it's going to be one person that will get the ticket, and then the other person decides that they are not going to stay, and they're going to leave and get another party to vie for the presidential ticket. So
listen, you people like Consensus, no party is doing anything now. Like APC.
we are just basically speculating.
No, listen. APC met in the midterm. And then in the midterm, some good friends or people's concerned persons give the notion that the president should remain as when the presidential nomination comes, that the president should remain as the sole candidate for that. That is a midterm resolution of the body of the concerned body in notice. But there's no party that is taking shit. There's no party is talking about election now, because to talk about election, we disrupt governance. Already is disrupting governance. That's my position. So if these issues come next year that the party nominations will take place, it can hold. But remember, we have 5 months to go. So this politics thing should be closed down, because the parties are actually not doing anything. If you go to better party or whatever, they are just come. It's just politicians that are leveraging on the window of opportunity that some big men are talking about. This man will do, this man will not do. That is news. But I have told you what they will do. Let us all stick by the rules.
All right.
Yes.
No problem. Thank you so much, Tony Wachuku, for your time. We truly appreciate it. We'll get across. We'll keep talking about this issue with a view to discussing and getting the full perspective. Thank you again. All right, that was Tony Wachuku giving us an insight into what he thinks about this development. I mean, he's the national coordinator of the Atiku campaign. I understand that they have a special meeting where this is going to be discussed largely. So we are following up with this development with a view to bringing you up to speed. Many thanks for being part of the broadcast. We're back shortly in due time. Remember, tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. as usual, we're here for the latest in terms of the headlines from the daily newspapers and breaking news from wherever it may be, whether it is local, national, or international. Thank you for joining in. We're back.